Does nutrition matter when it comes to weight loss? The answer might surprise you. So when we talk about nutrition, what do we actually mean? Nutrition is broken down into two groups. We've got macronutrients, which are the largest group of nutrients, and within these macronutrients are micronutrients, which are the smallest group of nutrients. There are three categories of macronutrients: carbs, protein, and fat. Carbs are needed for energy, and a lot of people will say that carbs are not actually essential. The body can survive without them. And although this is technically true, the body can survive without carbs, the body can't thrive without carbs because most of the micronutrients actually come from carbohydrate sources. A lot of people think that carbohydrates are bad for your health, and there are two groups of carbs. One is refined carbohydrates, breads, pastas, cakes, cookies, donuts, these kind of things. And almost all of the nutrients are stripped away from these kind of carbs. So yes, we should limit these carbs. But the other group of carbs are the healthy type of carbs that we absolutely need an abundance of in our diet. And healthy carbs are things like fruit and veg. The second type of macronutrient is protein. And it's not just bodybuilders who need protein, it's essential for everybody. We all think that protein is good for building muscles, and that's true, but it's also essential for building and maintaining bones. It's essential for creating hormones. If you don't get enough protein, your general health is going to suffer. The third macronutrient group is fat. Lots of people avoid fat when they go on a diet, and although it is sensible to limit the fat, we can't eliminate it altogether because it is an essential nutrient. It's needed to protect your organs, help grow healthy cells. It keeps your cholesterol and your blood pressure under control, and it helps your body to absorb vital nutrients that you obtain from fruit and veg, so they all work together. And just like carbs, there are unhealthy fats and there are healthy fats. Unhealthy fats come from processed foods with fat sources that have been highly refined and cooked to extremely high temperatures, making them devoid in almost all nutrients. But healthy fats come from things like nuts, seeds, avocado, coconut, olives, and animal products that are high in fat are also good for us in a balanced diet. Things like egg, cheese, milk. Now let's look at micronutrients. Micronutrients are vitamins such as vitamin A, vitamin B, vitamin C, and so on. Minerals are things like calcium, magnesium, and sodium. And all of these micronutrients are essential for good health. Vitamins are essential for energy production, immune function, blood clotting, and preventing diseases. They also do things like preventing you from getting viruses or from feeling ill from the viruses that are circulating. They do things like strengthening your immune system so you're ill much less frequently. And minerals play a very important role in growth, bone health, fluid balance, and so many other things. So which micronutrients do you get from the various macronutrients? By eating protein-rich sources, you get amino acids, many of the B vitamins, vitamin D, iron, zinc, selenium, omega-3, omega-6. And from fats, you get omega-3s, omega-6s, calcium, vitamin E. And from healthy carb sources, you get a lot of the B vitamins, vitamins A, C, E, K, folate, copper, iron, calcium, magnesium, manganese, potassium, phosphorus, selenium, zinc, and sodium. So now that you know what good nutrition is, does nutrition help with weight loss? And if we look at short-term weight loss, the surprising answer is that good nutrition doesn't actually make that much difference. And that's because the body can store nutrients for a short period of time. But if your nutritional deficit goes on for longer than a few weeks, your health will start to suffer and your hunger will ramp up to an unbearable level. Technically, the only thing that matters when it comes to weight loss is being in a calorie deficit. If you are eating less calories than you burn, you will lose weight regardless of the types of foods that you eat, especially in the short term. However, if you're on a diet that cuts calories dramatically, it will leave your metabolism in a state of starvation, and your metabolism is going to give you extreme hunger signals that you are going to find impossible to ignore. And this is going to lead to unplanned eating, binging, eating far too much food, and undoing all of your hard work. So that's why you don't want to cut your calories too low. Don't go under a 20% deficit in your calories. Otherwise, you probably won't be able to stick to it. So now that we know that nutrition doesn't really matter in the short term, in a few weeks, how about the long term? Does nutrition matter when it comes to long-term weight loss? Just the fact that you are losing weight will give you big health improvements no matter what type of food you're eating. However, the type of food that you're eating will determine how easy it is to stick to the diet, whether you're likely to keep the weight off in the long term, how healthy and good you feel on a day-to-day basis, and whether or not you prevent diseases in the long term. So now that we know that we have to eat less calories than we burn, and this is the only thing that matters when it comes to weight loss, let's look at what a calorie actually is. A lot of people will say these days that calories don't help you to lose weight and that calories in versus calories out model is broken. And this isn't true, because they don't know what a calorie actually is. So what is a calorie? A calorie is simply a unit of measurement. All it does is measure the energy in food. That's it. Just like a mile or a kilometer is a way to measure distance. We don't talk about the quality of the journey on that mile. We don't talk about the view out of the window when we're in a car traveling a mile. We're simply measuring the mile, and it's the same with calories. We're just measuring the energy. We're not talking about quality. We're just talking about a unit of measurement, and that is it. And that unit of measurement, the calories, it doesn't tell us what happens to those calories when they get in our body. All food sources are different. It's not the calories that make the food different. It's the type of food that you've eaten. Some foods that you eat are less likely to stick around as fat on your body, and other types of food are more likely to stick around as fat on your body. And that's because some foods require a lot of energy, a lot of additional calories to process those foods. So it's not that the calories in has changed, it's that the food type has changed how many calories your body burns as a result of the type of food that you've eaten. So you take in 1,000 calories a day, those 1,000 calories are always going to be 1,000 calories. You're never going to change that. But the number of calories that you burn will increase if those 1,000 calories are better quality types of food, such as lean protein, fruit and veg. So different foods do have an influence on how many calories we burn, and therefore how much weight we lose. So why should we even bother to track calories if it's the quality of food that matters when it comes to weight loss? And different types of foods can speed up your weight loss because they help you to burn more calories. And certain types of food can burn 30% more calories than other types of food. But that doesn't mean that you don't need to track your calories. If you track your calories and you eat your calorie budget, which is a calorie deficit, you are going to lose weight regardless of the types of foods that you eat. And the healthier those food types are, the easier and faster your weight loss will be. So we do still need to track calories to lose weight. And it doesn't matter whether somebody else tracks the calories or you track the calories, somebody still needs to track the calories. Otherwise, what you're doing is just guessing at weight loss. So you can follow meal plans where somebody else has calculated the calories, or you can choose exactly what to eat yourself. But either way, eating less calories than you burn and tracking those calories is the only consistent way to make sure that you will not only reach your ideal weight, but stay there. And if we look at some of the studies to answer the question, does nutrition matter when it comes to weight loss? One study showed that those people who do manage to lose the weight and keep it off had a much higher intake of micronutrients, so their diet was much better quality. In an earlier study, female weight maintainers in the National Weight Control Registry were found to have significantly higher intakes of vitamin A and C and calcium compared to adult women in the control group. And you are much more likely to be deficient in micronutrients if you are overweight and premenopausal. Here's how getting enough micronutrients can help weight loss. Micronutrients boost the metabolism. They help you increase energy expenditure. They help you to burn fat. They reduce your appetite. They give you more energy for exercise. They give you a positive mental state, which gives you the mental strength to help you to stick to your calorie deficit. They help you to avoid injury and illness, which often results in weight gain. When you correct any nutrient deficiencies, the body can more effectively convert food into energy rather than storing it as fat. So while vitamins alone won't help you to lose weight, it is much easier for the body to lose that stubborn fat when nutrition is combined with a calorie deficit. Eating a nutritionally complete diet will also have a positive effect on your gut bacteria, and having the right gut bacteria can have a positive effect on your hormones. It balances your blood sugar levels, and it makes sticking to a healthy diet so much easier. Naturally slim people have much healthier gut bacteria, and this is why they often do fecal transplants by actually taking the bacteria from a healthy slim person's body and putting it into somebody who's overweight, and the person person who's overweight finds it much easier to naturally lose the weight if they've got that healthy gut bacteria. It sounds pretty disgusting, but the studies have shown that it's very effective. So how do we go about having a nutritionally complete diet, where your nutrition comes from whole, healthy, real food, not multivitamins? Because although multivitamins do plug some gaps and help prevent the worst kind of diseases, they won't prevent most diseases. So unlike most diets, when you are following the SHRED method, you don't have to guess whether you are deficient in your diet. I am going to show you exactly how to be nutritionally complete from real food by using one of my 3 options, my 3 systems. The first system is the Pro system, and all you do is use an app and you put everything into the app and it actually tells you all of your nutrients for that one day. And this is the method that I recommend and that I love myself because it gives you the ultimate freedom and flexibility. But I do recognize when you're first starting to eat nutritionally complete, you would have no idea what kind of foods to eat every day to make sure that your nutritional needs are met. And this is where my other 2 systems come in. So the second system is the plug and play system. And for this system, I actually give you food lists for each nutrient group, with the highest nutrient at the top and how much you need to eat of it and how many calories it's got in it. So if you plug your food into the free app and you think, oh, some of my nutrients are really low, I'm really deficient in vitamin E or vitamin K, or my calcium's really low and I don't know what to eat, all you do is look at the food lists and you choose one of the food items at the top of the list and you simply plug that into the app and you'll see that nutrient increasing massively. And you just do this to plug the gaps until you are nutritionally complete. And this can take a little practice to become nutritionally complete. So that is why I give you the third option. And that is my meal plans. I've got meal plans for vegans, vegetarians, people who like to eat meat, people who like to eat fish, and all of my meal plans are nutritionally complete from real healthy food. And there's even room to have some of your favorite treats as part of the meal plans. I also have another way to help you plan out each meal to be nutritionally complete, and this is called the shredded plate. And there are 5 elements of a shredded plate. The word plate is an acronym, and the P of the word plate stands for protein. You would get around 150 calories from lean sources of protein. The L stands for leaves. You would get around 50 calories of your meal from leaves. The A stands for above ground fruit and veg. And although there are exceptions to this rule, it's generally true that anything that grows above the ground is a lower source of calorie fruit and veg. All fruit and veg are healthy, but to lose weight, it's much easier when you stick to lower calorie sources of nutrients. And you would get around 100 calories of your meal from these types of fruit and veg. The T stands for taste, and this is where you can add in flavor, something of what you love, some healthy fats, spices, avocado, cheese, sauces, anything that you want that makes it much more likely to actually eat the meal and enjoy the meal and want to make it again. And finally, the E stands for extras, and these are other healthy food sources that don't fit into any of the other categories. Things like beans, peas, lentils, potatoes, nuts, seeds, oats, rice. And if you add up all of those calories, it comes to 400 calories. So if you did this 3 times a day, breakfast, lunch and dinner, you would have 1,200 calories a day, which is much less than most people need to lose weight. So therefore you've got room to add in those extra calories for things that you actually love, for those treats. And you can do this knowing that you are nutritionally complete. So here's an example of a shredded plate. And this shredded plate contains 406 calories. For the protein, we've got tuna, 150 calories. For the leaves, we've got spinach, 220 grams of spinach, 50 calories. For the above ground fruit and veg, we've got 220 grams of mushrooms, 2 medium red peppers, which comes to 100 calories. For the taste, we're making up a dressing. We've got 70 grams of Greek yogurt. We've got 1 to 3 teaspoons of all-purpose seasoning. We've got 1/4 teaspoon of salt, pinch of pepper, 2 grams of nutritional yeast, and all this comes to around 50 calories. And the extras is a very low calorie wrap for around about 50 calories. And just to show you how healthy and nutrient dense this meal is, these are all of the nutrients contained in this one meal. You get 74% of your omega-3s for one day. You get 50% of your protein in just one meal. You get 57% of your vitamin E. You get 43% of your calcium, 60% of your iron, 82% of your magnesium, 93% of your phosphorus, 40% of your sodium, 82% of your zinc, and over 100% between 107% and 493%, which means all of your nutritional requirements are in this one meal of the following nutrients: B1, B2, B3, B5, B6, B12, folate, vitamin A, vitamin C, vitamin D, vitamin K, copper, manganese, potassium, selenium. This means you are meeting several days worth of nutrients in just one meal. This is how powerful it is to increase the nutrition in your diet and be nutritionally complete. And what I personally do is I get all of my nutrients for the entire week in just 5 days. Monday to Friday, I eat really healthy. And then on Saturday and Sunday, I eat what I like. As long as it's within my calorie budget, I know I've met all of my nutritional requirements for 1 week. And I don't have to worry about deficiencies. Having a nutritionally complete diet has massively helped me to lose the weight and keep it off. And this is what I teach to all of my clients. If you want to get access to my complete system, you can get all of this in the 6-week shred. And that's at shreddersconnect.com, or you can click the link under this video. And now it's time to turn your struggle into strength.